What's up, Closer Nation? We're back again with I say we every week. It's just me, right? There is no we, it's just me. But we're here. I just did it again. I'm here with Whiteboard Wednesday. I've got some good stuff for you. We're going to talk about investing in yourself. Like, go figure. But first, before we get into that, let me ask you a question. Before we talk about investing with yourself, let me ask you a question. When's the last time you bet on yourself? Right? When's the last time that you gambled on yourself? When's the last time that you took a bet, like you put a monetary risk against your confidence? Did you win? Right? This last time that you bet on yourself, did you lose? Because here's what I know happens. A lot of people, they go out, and let's say business people, for example, and they go out and they get sold into some kind of advertising campaign or some kind of marketing campaign, and they spend thousands of dollars and the campaign fails. It happens every single day. You see these fancy magazines like Inc. and Entrepreneur. There's people that rent out those things for hundreds of thousands of dollars for pages in there, and the campaigns fail every year or every day. And the problem is, when that happens, when somebody fails, oftentimes they quit. But just because you failed once doesn't mean that the journey's over. Matter of fact, the only way that you can truly fail is by quitting. You see, you learn a lesson. You learn that marketing product or that marketing method didn't work. You learn not to advertise to those people again, right? There's always a lesson in it, but we get burnt and we get scared, right? We get scared because somebody ripped us off, or we met a salesman that sold us a bunch of rainbows and champagne and it didn't pan out the way that we wanted it to. And so we get, like, instead of becoming fearless like we were when we took the investment, we start living our life from a place of fear, right? We're scared to invest. We're scared to surround ourselves with winners. We're scared to do what it takes to get the job done, because what if we fail again? But I can tell you, looking you straight in the eyes here, the eye of the camera, the lens eye, right? Looking you straight in the eye here, I can tell you I have failed prolifically for 37 years. The first thing I tried in my life to take a step, right? Like the first thing that you try as a little baby is to take a step. I failed at that, right? And I've been failing ever since. I've bought houses that have gone bad. I've had to file bankruptcy before. I've been homeless. I've been addicted to drugs. I've been in prison. I have failed over and over, but I will tell you this. The truth is, I don't feel like I ever failed. I feel like I fell, F-E-L-L, and I just had to get back up again and keep going. You see, a lot of people, when they fail, F-E-L-L, the problem is they feel like they fail, F-A-I-L, and then they don't see the difference, right? The word sounds the same, but there's two complete different meanings, because failure is complete loss, like giving up, it's over, there's nothing else left. Fail just means that you got F-E-L-L just means that you got a simple setback that you're going to have to overcome. So before we get into talking about really investing in yourself and the price and the ROI and all that stuff, I want to ask you, when's the last time you invested in yourself? Because I'm going to give you that opportunity right now. I've created a mastermind program that literally, this is no exaggeration, it's verifiable. There is billions of dollars of business being done every single year in this group. This program that I've created, there's people that do. Last night we had a loan officer on a webinar that we did live. He did over $200 million just last year alone. That's just one person that's a member of that group. And we've got over 600 members right now that are active in the group. And I want to invite you, because there's no mastermind like this. The things that we give you, the things that we offer you, the training, the education, it's all those failures that I've gone through my entire life and the experiences that I've extracted from them, the lesson that you can take and avoid the failures and the setbacks that I've already been through. I've done this for you. And so I'm going to invite you, just go to breakfreeacademy.com/entourage. You get our newsletter, you get our training, you get our network, you get our mastermind, everything that you could possibly want to set yourself up for sales and marketing success, we've got inside of breakfreeacademy.com/entourage. After you're done watching this video, head over there, sign up, and we'll see you on the other side. So let's talk about what it takes to be the best. I always say, to be the best, you must invest, right? This, my boy Pat was saying, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit, which is real fitting because OJ just made parole, right? Hooray, OJ. And so anyway, the thing is, to be the best, you must invest. Because here's what I know. When I ask you in the beginning, when's the last time you bet on yourself? You see, when you put money down and you say, see, it's different when you put money down and you put into a marketing campaign. You're saying, I'm betting this money that something outside of myself will work. But when you put money down on yourself, it changes the game, because your subconscious, it goes, oh shit, we believe in ourselves again. Oh, we believe in ourselves enough to put this amount of painful investment into what we're doing because we feel like we can get an ROI, and your confidence goes up. And I've been saying this for years, confidence is what closes. When you go into a situation, if you're oozing with confidence, the other person's more inclined to make a decision because you're so confident about their decision that they become confident as well. True story, it happens all the time. Social proof and mirroring and NLP teaches that concept. But here's what I know. I've had to invest a lot of money to get where I'm at. And I'm not talking about just in marketing campaigns or in anything else. I've had to invest a lot of money personally, right? I've had to double down on myself. So I want to tell you a story in today's video, a few stories about this journey that I've been on and how these investments paid off for me, because I figure if you're going to be the best, you got to invest. And so I've invested in myself because that's where I want to be, is the best. I remember back in 2012, a man by the name of Frank Kern sent me an email, and it was a marketing email, but at the time I didn't understand how all that stuff worked, right? And I got this marketing email, and it said, you've been specifically invited to learn a very specific method of doing business, and we would like to interview you on a free strategy session to see if you fit our business model. And I thought, well, hot damn, Frank Kern wants to check me out and let me go into business with him, right? So I filled it out, and I got on the phone the next day with a gentleman named Kevin Nations, and which I'm friends with both of those gentlemen still today. They changed my life. And so I got on the phone with Kevin Nations, and he took $8,000 from me. And I want you to understand, at this point in my life, I didn't have $8,000. I had about $3,000 on a credit card that I gave him as a down payment, and I had to go find the other $5,000, which I ended up hustling, doing some social media, taking some contracts. I did everything in my power to come up with $8,000. And what's messed up is I see a lot of people, they'll put the $3,000 down, they'll come up with the other $5,000, and then they'll be like, I don't really want to invest this in myself. I could use this $5,000. And they never see the finish line. But I put the $8,000 in. And I learned something called the tribe. And today, let's see, if we did that in 2013, that's 4 years, it was December 2012. So let's just say 4 years later, that program will make me $4 million this year. Right? And not personally, right? We got taxes and overhead and shit like that, but it'll generate $4 million in gross sales this year from that program that I initially put $8,000 into. Do you think that was worth it? And it's not just I've been broke these last 4 years and then all of a sudden this year we're having a big year. It's paid. Last year, $2 million. The year before that, $750,000, and so on and so on. All from this same model that I'm using right now came from this this $8,000 investment. So let's say the $8,000 that I invested has generated me $5 million in cash over the years, right? We'll just say that $5 million, I think that's a conservative offer, especially if we count 2017 in the equation. But would you invest $8,000, even if you didn't have it, even if you had to go out and hustle and do shit and sell your booty or whatever the hell you got to do, would you invest $8,000 to 4 years later have $5 million? Because here's what I know, a lot of people say that, but yet you can get $8,000 right now. There's money everywhere. When people say, the economy's bad, there's no money, it's bullshit. There's always the same amount of money, and they keep printing more of it, right? They don't unprint money, they print more of it. That's how the shit works. You do realize that, right? When the news media, which by the way, the fake news media, they're not required to give you, they don't have the credentials to give you any advice on anything. They say, all the money's gone in the stock market. No, it transferred. Money doesn't just disappear, it doesn't go anywhere, it gets transferred. And so anyway, back to this. So would you invest $8,000 to get to $5 million? A lot of people say yes, but then you know what? You can grab this $8,000 anywhere, but you don't have $5 million, a lot of you watching this. And I'm not knocking you for not having $5 million, but I'm saying a lot of people do this, but they don't do much of this, right? A lot of people talk, but they don't really walk. And so the next thing is, obviously, my $8,000 investment, at the end of that course, it was an 8-week course. I paid $8,000, $1,000 per week for an 8-week course. At the end of that, Kevin Nations reached out to me again. By the way, he's obviously a hell of a salesperson, but I think that you buy how you sell. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm an easy lay down buy, then it's going to be easy for me to believe that people are going to be easy lay down buys for me, because that's how I operate. Why would you be any different? Right? I think that how you buy is how you sell. If you're a fierce negotiator and you're always beating people down on price, then that's what you expect when people come to you. And so Kevin hits me up and he says, hey man, I'd like to have $25,000 if you join our year-long mastermind. Well, first of all, he didn't say it like that. He said, well, you can just get started for $5,000. And I thought, okay, well, I just paid $8,500's nothing. I've made some money over the course of 8 weeks. I can afford this $5,000 now. That's nice. And then I found out it was $5,000 a month for 5 months, right? It was a little unexpected, and it stretched me. It's like, shit, I didn't budget for $25,000. I'd never spent $25,000 on anything in my life, not even a down payment in a house as of 2013. Like, never. $25,000 was the biggest stretch I'd ever made in my life. And now, sure, I've had success in the past, but it was from flipping houses and doing mortgages, and I just never had like that kind of money that I could just give up on a month. It was the biggest bill by far I'd ever paid. But flash forward, during this $25,000 investment, over the course of that 1 year, I created something called Break Free Academy. Maybe you've heard of it. And within Break Free Academy, at our last event, we had 89 people at $5,000 a ticket. You can do the math. I don't know how much that is. It's a fucking lot. And so the thing is, and then one before that, we had 70 people at $5,000 a ticket. And the one before that, we had 50 people at $5,000 a ticket. And remember Break Free Academy Entourage that I invited you to in the beginning that I told you 600 people? That thing is now printing $200,000 in residual income every single month. And we just started the Entourage section in December. So do you think that this $25,000 might be worth another, let's say conservatively, $3 million over the last, since that happened in 2013. I launched it in 2014. So truth be told, it's been going for 3 years and it's already generating 1 million. If you annualize it now, 1 million per year. Would you invest $25,000 to make 3 million? Maybe the 8,000 for 5 million is not a good enough investment for you, but would you invest 25,000 for 3 million? But here's the thing. I didn't join this and Kevin made me millions. I didn't join this and Frank made me millions. I joined this, I learned what they taught, I implemented, I kept implementing, I fell forward, F-E-L-L, fell forward without failing because I didn't give up and I kept and I persevered and here we are today. So this year alone, and I've invested $8,000 in multiple Facebook ad classes and everything so forth. I'm just telling you the 3 biggest investments that I've made so far in my personal life. Well, so the next one would be $30,000 this year. I invested in May with a gentleman named Marshall Silver. And I first met Marshall Silver at one of his Turning Point seminars. If you get a chance to check those out, they're absolutely awesome. Marshall is the man. And he's the coldest salesperson I've ever seen in my entire life. That's really saying something, I think, from a guy that is known as the hardcore closer. And so I watched Marshall do his stuff and I'm intrigued. And he gave me a free ticket to his event. And I learned so much from his event that I went back to my next Break Free Academy and we went from making about $50,000 an event to I made over $200,000 by implementing his strategies. Well, all that was still free. I'd never given the guy a dime and I'd called him over the course of months because I had his phone number and I'd say, hey, I'd like to buy this from you. I'd like to buy that from you or whatever the case. And he thought, nah, you know what, that's probably not what you need. And we just kind of kept talking till in February, I said, listen, I need to know how to become a better stage closer. I need better stage presence. I need somebody to teach me. I need to get all educated up with this stuff. And he said, I'll take $30,000 from you. You can come out to my house for 1 day. 8 weeks, 1 year, 1 day. Okay, I just want to put that in perspective for you. Now, sure, you can say, well, Ryan, you're making millions of dollars a year. Like I said, you don't know how much the fucking tax man shows up with his hand out. You really don't. And you don't understand that when you got 6 figures a month in payroll and taxes, and you've got to have lawyers and CPAs. I mean, this shit, like all these people making millions of dollars, that's great. I don't know how they run their business, but I'm running my shit like a business and it's expensive to operate this thing. So even dropping 30 grand on something is still a leap of faith, especially for 1 day, all in one payment. There wasn't any, we'll finance your $30,000 out. It's like, hey man, you need to swipe your, that unlimited account, that unlimited black credit card that you got from Amex and just send us that 30 grand, which is exactly what I did. I show up out there at Marshall's house with my man P. Dizzle, who don't talk much. That's why I take him on trips, because he don't talk much, he don't interrupt, but he's a good note taker. And so we show up out there and we listen to Marshall. And first of all, one of the first things is Marshall has a 17,000 square foot home and a 125,000 gallon pool behind it, Rolls Royce in the front. So it showed me what's possible as a businessman. And as a salesman, it shows me that this guy has it, he's still got it. So it's a possibility for me. So instantly it raises my standards and causes me to level up. Well, next thing we sit down, he puts together some stuff and we created something that we call the stack. And that single sales pitch, just since May, right now as I'm writing it, as we're recording this, it's August 1st. And I know we record Whiteboard Wednesday on Tuesday, just get over it. But this $30,000 and all the stuff that he taught me, the most important thing was this stack. And we've been able to add another $100,000 a month in residual income since we implemented this stacking process. I'll share that with you on another video, or maybe you should just go see Marshall yourself and invest in yourself, or whatever the case may be, but that changed the game for us. And so these investments right here changed the game for me because I believed in myself. It wasn't an investment in Facebook ads. It wasn't an investment in some marketing deal or magazine ad. It was an investment in Ryan motherfucking Stewman. And I went out there and I did the work from it. And each time right here, we're looking at 100K a month or 1.2 mil per year, right? For those of you that are struggling with the math a little bit. So we've talked about each time, and look, I've invested with Russell Brunson, $25,000, changed my life. First year that I had $1 million was with Russell Brunson. I invested another 20 grand with Frank Kern just this year, last year, the end of last year alone, which helped me create the Entourage program. So I'm telling you, every time that you invest in yourself, your subconscious goes, dude, My man, you believe in us? We'll put in the work and make it happen for you. So if you truly want to be the best, you've got to invest. See, there's lots of people I see that reach out to me every day and they say, oh, I'm not ready to commit to that, or I don't know if I got the $297 a month for Entourage, or I don't know if I got $30,000 to be a part of the tribe, Ryan. It's really scary. Of course it's scary. Scary people don't ever get nowhere in life. Scary people stay locked up in their homes. Scary people get scared to take a risk. The very definition of entrepreneur is risk taker. If you're not willing to take a risk taker, you're not an entrepreneur, you're a worker bee. And so I want you to think about that. If you really and truly want to be the best, stop doing this and start proving to yourself by investing. So hey, if you dig this, if you got it, share it. Get your ass over to breakfreeacademy.com/entourage. Sign up for our mastermind. Prove to yourself that you're the best. Vote with your dollars. Let your wallet boost your confidence, which boosts your wallet in return. It's a great cycle, everybody. Catch you next week.